welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso, and you're just in time as we continue our conversation around relationships, because on Mondays we are talking relationships, and today we're asking the question, how do you and your romantic partner navigate your age difference? We're back with clinical psychologist Asha Dullabh alongside husband and wife duo who has a 51-year age gap. That's Terzel Rasmus-Williams and Wilson-Williams, and they are here to help us unpack this topic. So you are welcome to weigh in with your questions and comments on our Expresso Facebook page, and we do have some of those comments right now.
Yeah, let's take a look at what you have been saying, and a lot of people relating, which I love. Dominique saying we have a 21-year age gap. He's 61 and I'll be 40 in March. Simply put, works for us.
Works for us. Isn't that the most important?
Yeah.
It needs to work for you. Do we have another comment? Yes, we do. From Kim, that says, my husband and I have a 28-year-old age gap. Love does not ask for age. When there is love and understanding, that is the fundamental of a partnership. The life you build together, and the important factor, as long as there is respect. There we go. Beautiful.
Yep, respect is key in any relationship.
Yeah.
I would imagine, like any relationship, Wilson, this one has changed you. And I would imagine at your age, you didn't think that you could change dramatically. But how has your time with Terzel changed you, and this relationship helped you to develop personally?
Yeah. She being a student at the time, a varsity student, I knew that she was going to have a lot of young friends. And I told her I wouldn't like to compete with the young ones. And so she had to work on that, and she done it very well. So we went on because I knew that she was quite an independent person. And she wanted to ask things and do things on her own. And I said to her, but you must now listen. I am 76 and you 25.
26.
You 26. You must now also listen to what I have
I think
to
at this
say.
stage it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You must also listen to what I have to say, so that we can work on two things together.
Yeah.
And I usually was, and still is, much slower than she in anything we do. And I had to remind her, you know, you must remember, you must go slow with me. And then she would always say, I know I must not forget. So please forgive me, I'm sorry. And so we went on with this, and at this moment, we are really on our way doing just that.
Just to touch on what he said in the beginning, it was difficult because we had different life paces. And coming together and meeting each other halfway was very important.
Yeah.
And like that lady said on Facebook, you know, having respect, but also think patience, especially from my part, was very important, something I didn't have. So I learned to have patience and just to be kind and be considerate. And he for me as well. And like you heard, you know, he was considered that I'm independent, that I want a career, and so he accepted all of that. But I also had to accept certain aspects of him. And I think at that time, I didn't think that anything of that, actually.
Yeah.
And I had to learn how to love somebody. And when you love somebody, you need to have that respect and kindness and patience. And that's what I learned
The
in terms
empathy,
of
yeah.
empathy. Yeah, that's what I learned, at least, with him, being with
It's
him.
so important. I mean, I know earlier, before we went into our ad break, Graham asked you some of the challenges the two of you have faced. What have been some of those?
Personally, for me, it's been hard. I had to break up one or two friendships because, I mean, like we spoke during the ad break, you actually touched on something. I was like, hey, that actually happened to me. When you asked, has there ever been a moment when he wasn't invited because of his age? And that happened. And that was very hard for me. and definitely hard for my friend as well. And I have the greatest empathy, but I had to choose what I needed to do for me at the time. I was living my life not for myself at that point. I was living my life for other people, and I knew when I'm with him, I am the safest, I am my most comfortable, I am who I am and want to be.
Yeah.
And I like that person when I'm with him. And so I made that choice for me, and honestly, I don't regret that.
And you don't need people like that in your life that's going to exclude your partner from day-to-day activities. So you've had to cut some friendships.
Either they adjust or we move on. I've got to ask Asha, I wish we had more time because there's so many questions that I'd love to ask you, but I'm going to ask you to round off for some advice, because even judging by the amount of comments we've had, there are so many people that don't see age difference as a barrier to love.
Absolutely.
What advice do you have for couples navigating that path?
The words respect, patience, human qualities. If you think about our ex-president Nelson Mandela, he was married to Graça Machel with a 27-year age gap. And I remember in an interview with Graça, she said, I know him as a human being. And it's those human qualities that we are speaking about, just the need for supporting each other, embracing the union of love. And key is communication and understanding, which all links into our need for a higher EQ generally. Emotional intelligence, understanding our emotions, comprehending it and expressing it all the time. And that's the beauty of relationships such as these, authentic relationships.
Authenticity, we're all about that. We hope that your relationship continues to blossom and that you have a wonderful, and I know it's still a relatively new married life, but that you continue to savor every moment that you have together. We really appreciate you taking the time to step out and share this love with the world. We really do appreciate it. And if you'd like to connect with Asha, you can do so on info@ashadullabh.com. We'll keep those contact details up on our social media platforms. And thank you so much to you at home for weighing in on the conversation as well.